Hey guys, welcome to Not So Random Chat, the nighttime live stream where we talk about whatever we want to. So, settle in and grab you a libation. It could be your wine or tea or coffee or whatever you want to drink. And let's just sit back and chill. I'll be with you in a moment. Are you guys ready? Okay, well, so am I. So let's get into it. Here I come. Hola from the west side. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. Hope everybody is having a good midweek. Yeah, let me just leave that right there. Hold on a second. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. All right, so let me just get myself together here. And right now I'm going to be off camera for a minute because I'm trying to work on my lighting and the virtual background. The green screen, rather. But I hope everybody's having a great day. And 2 more days until, well, actually, no, 3 more days, because what's today, the 26th? 3 more days until my son turns 27. And yesterday was my girl Cookie's birthday. I know she's having a great entry into Club 50, and shouts out on the great crime story she did today. Yeah. So, I wanted to start out by really talking about just some of the things going on in the mainstream media. Now let me start out, we keep seeing things going on with Kanye and everything. And, people have varying opinions in regards to what's going on. I told you I don't think that this man cares and that he's willing to lose it all. And, people are thinking that he is like losing it because he lost the Adidas contract. But What if he wanted to lose the Adidas contract, you guys? What if that's what he wants? Hey, uppity. I mean, what if that's what's really going on with Kanye? Because, I don't want to make it seem like, it's like what happened with Dave Chappelle. But there are some things that are a little disturbingly similar in the fact that Dave Chappelle, when he walked away from the Dave Chappelle show, people thought he was just walking away from $50 million. And it's true. He was walking away from $50 million. Hey, Angel. But he was walking away from $50 million because he had made $500 million and they didn't want to pay him. They didn't want to pay him what he had made. And if you noted in some of the stuff where he's quote unquote losing all of these contracts, they haven't paid him. So if he's losing a contract that he hasn't got paid on, is he really losing? Is he really losing it? How can you lose something you never had? And, I have to be careful what I say because I'm going to have to go back and listen to my Monday live stream because YouTube is telling me that it's limited on suitability. And I have a feeling that it's because of the end of the live stream when I was dealing with the autism talk. Or it could have been when I was talking about the Latruce. So I'm going to have to go back because I'm going to probably appeal it because I didn't say anything. I didn't say any words. But moving on. In dealing with, things that Kanye has said, and some of the people that he has, quote unquote, put things out to, if you go and look on TikTok at this point, you've got people on both sides who are talking like he is causing division. And I don't think that's really what he's doing. I think he's just, regardless of what other people believe, I think a lot of the stuff that he's saying is things that he really believes. And the interesting thing is that some of the things that he is saying it's not what he's saying, it's how he's saying it. Similar to when Nick Cannon made his statements that he, rolled back. It wasn't really what he was saying, it was how he was saying it. And there's like a part of what he was saying. I know what he was trying to say, because if you're really a woke, like a really woke person, not the quote unquote woke persons that, think they're woke, the people who really are woke, and we're woke enough to know that there's certain things that you just can't talk about because they will shut you down. And that's the problem, is that Kanye, and this is just my opinion, I feels that he is sacrificing himself because he feels that he's big enough and he doesn't care if they cancel him. But everything that he's saying is not fictional. Everything that he's saying is not fictional. It's not. It's just the way that he's presenting it. But I'm just going to say this, and then I'm going to move forward in regards to that. You really have to think about the fact that many times when people are speaking truths, people or the media will lead you to have the perception that that person is crazy or has mental issues. Let me give you an example. Dave Chappelle. And we're moving forward. Okay, so the next thing I wanted to talk about, and I'm just going to talk about this really, really, really quickly, is, what we're seeing now with Nicki Minaj. And her stans, who are kind of doing some weird stuff. And we're not talking about people who just like Nicki, we're talking about people who can do some weird things, like show up at people's dwellings that have a dissenting opinion or don't like, something that the artist themselves said. The same thing can be said in regards to, Cardi B fans, and, it is really, really different with how they have stands now. And, I'm saying that because that's what we're going to have to call them, that are very, very different from like when we were younger and we were fans. Some of us were fanatics of artists like Michael Jackson, Prince, New Edition, from back then. But you have, for these young ladies, we have the Beehive, we have the Barbies, then we have the Barty Gang, then we have the Navy. And the question is, and shouts out to Jovi because she talked about this morning. The question is, hey Tom, How are you? At what point are the artists responsible for things that their stands are doing? You know, and this weird type of behavior, you know, going after people that don't like said person, you know, attacking them on the internet, you know, attacking them in person. Meanwhile, Nikki's over here, excuse me, not dealing with it. And I know sometimes they get out there and jump in front of it and they, you know, try to go at the fans. And the stands come back at them and will curse them out too. Mm-hmm. If they're not doing what they want them to do. Like, you remember that the Navy was none too pleased, and they probably still aren't, but I don't think Rihanna gives a damn of her being with A$AP Rocky. They don't like it. They were mad. You know, and some of them seem to have glee in the anticipation that this man was potentially cheating on her when she was pregnant. Like, what kind of sick stuff is that? But this is the kind of thing, this is the extent of this type of fan. I mean, back in the day, we had fans that would, you know, unalive the star, R.I.P. Selena. Hold on, y'all. This thing is just tripping. What is going on? Let me see. Okay. My monitor. Okay, so let me see. Let me try to come on camera. Let me see if my lighting is. Let me see what my lighting is looking like there. Let me see. Right now. Okay, y'all can see me. Hey guys. So yeah, no makeup tonight. Sorry, no makeup tonight. But here's my feelings. At some point, when we're dealing with the stands that are up and over and above your normal and regular fans, these people kind of like, you know, have used the internet to shut people down, cyberbully, do all kinds of crazy stuff. You know, people have been dragged by the Beehive on Twitter, dragged, you know, by the Barbies. And it's getting kind of crazy. When is enough enough? I remember some stuff a few months ago. Was it this year? Or was it this year? It was either this year or last year. Well, these crazy heifers in relation to Cardi went after a content creator, did all kinds of crazy stuff. Like, what is wrong with y'all? I mean, hacked into the person's personal stuff. I spoke about it at the time. If you weren't around at the time, then we're not gonna bring it up because we're just not. It's not my story to tell. Hey, Terry, it's not my story to tell. So we're gonna move on from this, but I will post on my community wall the live from earlier today that Jovi Beauty did, where she went into a whole lot more detail in regards to this. Shouts out to Jovi for having to deal with the barbs in the chat, including her own supporters. But us mods, had them on lockdown. Now, I wanted to talk about something that I am seeing right now on TikTok, you guys. And I'm seeing it from different standpoints, but I'm seeing what's going on here in the United States, and then I'm seeing something going on in Africa. Now, what I'm seeing going on the continent in a number of countries like Kenya, Nigeria, Mali, Somalia, they are denouncing Western Christianity. And really what they are denouncing is Roman Catholicism, because that's really what pushed its way through a lot of that. But it's the westernized Christianity with the westernized Jesus, the westernized Mary, all of these things that are that really came out of Roman Catholicism. I just no other way to say it. And the crazy thing is, you also have a kind of a movement that I'm also seeing, and this is stuff that I'm seeing in social media that's going on in different countries. I'm not seeing it in a lot of it on YouTube. I'm really seeing more of it on TikTok. But TikTok only shows you what they think that our little part of the algorithm she wants, because trust me, I don't see much of anybody that doesn't look like me recommended to me. Wonder why. But anyway, what I'm saying is that I'm seeing sentiments similar of why people questioning why Black Americans still read the Bible, still are Christians, from the standpoint of the things that people put into it in order to validate the 400 years that we were enslaved in this country. But the interesting thing is that when we do all of this talking about Christianity, it's just really interesting that people look at Christianity as though it is a European religion, and Christianity itself is not. It's an African movement that spread out of into Africa, and went from Africa, hopped over to Europe, and then, Europe within the Roman Catholic Church made their own version of it that included a lot of paganism and things that were not in the original Bible. And they also, at that point, there was a break, because, like the Protestantism, that came out of Roman Catholicism. But Roman Catholicism, it became Roman Catholicism when everybody else, because it was just the Church of Rome, and it was really just basically the Church of Rome, which was the Western version of Christianity. You also have the Greek Orthodox Church, which you have the Bishop of Constantinople way back in Byzantine times. That was the split. And basically, I'm just going to be, that was the Black Christian Church, the Greek Orthodox Church. That was the Christianity that remained more true to what came out of, Jerusalem, from Jesus of Nazareth. And I think that when people are looking at it and they're just looking at that, as a representation of what Christianity is, and I'm speaking about the Roman Catholic Church, because that's what birthed Protestantism, and the Western Christian Church. They just confuse and think that Christianity is a European religion, and it's not. They made their own version of it. And do I agree with, the Council of Nicaea deciding what was canon and what was not canon, and deciding that these books were out and these books were in, and then when, the Protestant church breaks off, they decide to throw a few more out? Like, I believe that the Catholic Bible has several books that are not in the King James Version Bible, which, most Western Christians look at that as when they look at it as the re-inspired. There is no re-inspired. There is only the inspired, the original, that you take the text from. But the King James Version was at least pulling things together in some type of uniform form. We'll give him that. But there are other books that give us more, that give you more stories that, whether you agree or not, were part of the writings that were done during the time. And if you look throughout the quote unquote Bible, you see Black people throughout it, the entire place, including, melanated people in the New Testament, the apostles, and Yeshua himself. Whether you agree that he was my melanated or Middle Eastern melanated, he was melanated. Because many of, the people that are in the Middle East now are not original to that region, 2,000, 3,000 years ago. They weren't there. Okay? They weren't there. But it's very interesting that people are twisting or mixing up what belief in the Most High is, and believing whether Yeshua is the Son of God, with a Western interpretation of him. Because I didn't grow up in a house with pictures of Jesus with the long hair. Jesus had long hair. He probably had dreads, but I digress. It's just, but what I'm seeing is that Black people in various places that are turning away from Christianity because they're looking at it as strictly like the white man's religion. And it's like really, I mean, if you guys go look on TikTok, you'll find like there's stuff like in the Congo. You'll find stuff going on in Kenya, Nigeria. And they're not turning, people might think that they would be turning, they're not turning to Islam. Because if you think about it, both Islam and quote unquote European Christianity were forced on the nations of Africa. Like, they didn't know God, and they knew God better than y'all do. They knew. The irony is that Africans brought Christianity to the Europeans. That's the irony. The first Christian church was the Church of Antioch. Antioch is in Africa. And at that time, Africa was strictly melanated people. It just was. It just was. Okay? Early, quote unquote, Christian, people who they call Christian saints were Black people. Augustine from Africa, St. Augustine. His mother, Monica, from Africa. These were people of color, but you know how Roman Catholicism just pulls all of everybody in there. I try to be careful because I really want to keep my stuff monetized. I don't want them to limit my stuff. Hey, Mahogany! Y'all see me just talking. But I just find it really interesting that this is going on right now. This is like a movement going on right now. They're like burning Bibles, burning pictures of, the European, flowy hair, blue eyes. I didn't grow up in a house that matter of fact, I've got no pictures of Jesus in my house. Why would I have pictures of him in my house? I used to hate those when people had those pictures, because I swore that those pictures, the eyes would just move as you would go past them. I hated those pictures. But we didn't have those pictures in our house because there's no true depictions of him. So why would we be having these fake depictions when, we had enough sense to know that didn't look like him. We knew he wasn't white. But we're seeing all of this stuff, and then we're seeing the other stuff that's, implying, that we're an alien race, you know. Remember I told you guys about how, you know, although the majority of the world, quote unquote, supposedly has, you know, the rhesus factor in their blood. You know, most people have positive blood, but that they're saying that somewhere that's where that's where the blend, or that's where the click was, because, you know, I'm one of those people who does not. That's why my blood type is rare, because I'm negative and I'm not O. And I'm not O. O is the, you know, most common blood type in the world. But they're talking about, you know, certain people with, I guess, the original with no RH. It's just a whole bunch of stuff that's being thrown out there right now. Y'all just have to. It's getting a bit crazy. It is getting a bit crazy. It is. But I mean, but just watching this stuff in regards to these religious shifts and everything. And that's fine that people are waking up. I always tell people, you know, you read different versions of the Bible. You should never have just one. You know, I have the King James version of the Bible. I also have an Ethiopian Bible. I have the quote unquote Apocrypha books, the lost books, because I have enough, I feel, maturity to be able to disseminate through the quote, you know, like these lost books, to see, you know, what's fact or fiction. Since, you know, they're not part of the quote unquote accepted Bible, then that means these are additional writings that I can look at and just kind of glean into what I want to see. Now, the Ethiopian Bible, that's a whole different thing. The Ethiopian Bible, you know, they don't have no New Testament. Like, you know, because, you know, many Ethiopians are, you know, from the lost tribes that are not lost, you know. I've already, you know, we already know that the people that are in Israel, that's not the bulk of the people of, you know, that are descendants of the 12 tribes. You know, we know that the bulk of the 12 tribes, when they dispersed into Africa. And they were in the regions, you know, where people were taken from and sent across the Atlantic Ocean into the diaspora. So I'll just let that one marinate for a minute. You know, because the children, the descendants, the line of Noah, that the children of Israel came through, was Ham. Even though people want to say it was one of the other ones, it wasn't. Yeah. And Ashkenazi is not the only markers of the 12 tribes. But even more so, the Ashkenazi marker is found in people that look like me. I'll let that resonate as well. So, like I said earlier, in regards to some of the things that people have presented, things that Kanye said and that Nick said and then rolled back. It's not what they said. It's how they said what they said, but it's really some truths people don't want out there. And some truths people aren't ready for. And I can tell you the ones that have to do with us. And anything that ties us into the Bible and biblical prophecy, and anything, ties us into the book of Revelations and everything, people are not ready for it. They're not ready for it. They're not ready for it. They ain't ready for it. Some of that knowledge is just, you just need to spread it a different way. Everything is not for public consumption. Now, I will give, my Israelite brothers, I give them this. They have some of the stuff right. They do. They sure do. Regardless of which of the branches that they're in, because there's a couple of different beliefs. But some of the stuff they have is correct. They're off on some of their stuff, but they're correct on some of their things. Yeah. As it relates into who the people are that were enslaved in this country for 400 years. 400 years, 400 years, 400 years, 400 years, 400 years back then, and then 400 years recently. Y'all got to read between the lines, because, as I said, you have to be careful with what you say on this freaking platform and how you say it. when you want to keep your videos monetized, which I do. I like to see the little green things. I think the one on is Monday is because of, you know, my breakdown in regards to my son. And I'm still on that because I will say this, after I went back and did my research, they finished their stuff before they were supposed to finish their stuff. And I'm just going to have to bring in all my paperwork to this freaking hearing, which is probably going to be in person, and I'm probably going to have to have my son with me to prove my point. You know, this is not going to be fun, but we're going to do what we have to do, because they're implying that they overpaid him, and I'm telling them that they didn't overpay him because he has no other money. You know, the only other money that he had was actually, was the stimulus. And they can't penalize him for that. But all other monies, yeah, were proven to not be his. So, you know, I'm just going to have to fight with these people. I'm going to call and just get some assistance. You know, I'm past the angry tears. You know, now I'm just pissed off again, because it's like, this is an ongoing thing. And it's like, let me move my ass to a different state, you know, because, you know, Social Security, I hear nothing but like nightmares about people having to fight when they look like us. Now I am talking to the other autism mom. I've already reached out to her on Facebook and, you know, told her what was going on. And I'm seeing if she knows someone I can talk to, that I'm not going to have to pay money, because we're not doing that. You know, this is for my son. So we need someone who's not trying to charge money. But I do need some legal advice about going up against Social Security. I need some legal advice. But I'm glad that I'm not as congested as I was. I'm still a little congested, you guys. And so I didn't finish the voiceovers yet for that one video, you know. And I need to finish that because I've already started the prep for the next video after that. It's like, man, I need a freaking production team. But I still, you know, but it doesn't matter because I'm the one who's the talent in front of the freaking camera. And yeah, I'm just whining, you guys, because it's a lot of work to get the content done. Coming live is like the easy thing. Doing this kind of content, just getting on here talking to you guys and checking in. But it's not that this isn't content, but this is, you know, not my main content. So I just have got to get these freaking videos done. Yeah. So I'm just going to be grinding. I'm going to be grinding. All right, let me see what you guys are saying. I'm just up here running my mouth. I don't think there's anything else I want to talk about. David is already gone to bed tonight. They had a long day. He's going to be going, let me see. His job is going to be celebrating his birthday on Friday, since his birthday's on the weekend. He won't be here for my Friday show. He'll be gone. Sorry, y'all. So, y'all know I hate Halloween. Halloween is not, but I'll probably, I'll bring him on so you guys can on Halloween, because he won't be home until Sunday night. Yeah, and I will be on Monday because I have some autism life stuff to talk about on that day. And I've already got my Friday show pretty much. I'm going to come on Friday. And Friday, right now, what I'm planning on doing is doing a show, a live stream on here, and then I'm going to do a poetry live stream of just doing a little poetry, a little spoken word on the Purple Diva Den. Probably gonna do that on Friday night for like about 30 to 45 minutes. So I'm trying to get those two things planned. So with that means I'm gonna come on earlier for the not so random chat. Earlier for me, it'll just be earlier on a Friday night for y'all. But I think I'm gonna do that because I miss just doing my spoken word and just kind of, putting that out there. And the wild thing is that I got like so many hits over on my little teeny following on TikTok for one of the poems that I got maybe, I think, 10 views on here. And for whatever reason, TikTok liked me that day. And that thing got over 1,000 views. And had like, I don't know, it had a bunch of likes too. So I know that there's a niche. I'm gonna get my spoken word out there on as many places as possible. I will be getting out my fall fashion videos this week. I'm waiting for another piece of fall fashion to come for my showing things that I'm going to be wearing this fall. I'm disappointed because I wasn't able to get the color that I wanted because the purple was gone in a minute, but I was able to get my hands on the Fenty Savage, the Savage Fenty, Savage Fenty, onesie with the hood. They only had the plus size ones left in purple, and they say that those run smaller, or they run larger. So that means that I would, be swimming in a 1X, which was the smallest size they had in purple. I was sad about that. But now I'm on a VIP, so hopefully I'll catch the purple. Maybe they'll get some more purple in before Christmas and I can order it and get a purple one too. But I have a onesie coming. Finally got me a little, one of the Rihanna onesies. I had to break down, get me one because, I had to. I mean, I wanted the purple, but I'll get the purple soon. I'll just wait. Because what I do like about her onesies is that they run longer. Like they run longer for long legs, like mine. So I don't have to get a bigger size so that it's longer for my legs. My size is long enough for my legs. if that makes any sense. But anyway, you guys, I'm just rambling now at this point. I'm just rambling at this point, y'all. These braids that y'all see now will be disappearing in the near future, and I will be braiding it again, I guess. I think that's what I'm gonna do. But now that my head is not so congested, I'm thinking about another day I can go ahead and wash the gray out. Cause I need to get rid of the gray. I'm vain about that. I don't care if people know my age. I just don't want my hair to be gray. I don't want the salt and pepper look. I'm trying to get this. Yeah. I'm not ready for it yet, y'all. But I'm going to get ready to get out of here, you guys. Thank you guys for coming. Thank you for spending time with me. I could have been anywhere. I know I could have talked about the YouTube streets tonight, but I decided I'm not going to talk about them. Just not tonight. I'll see you guys on Friday, and I'll see you guys in these YouTube streets. Until I see you guys again, I offer you peace and blessings from the West Side. All right, let me see if I can get this going. I'm out, you guys. Peace. Well, guys, that's it for tonight's Not So Random Chat. But I'll see you guys the next time. Until then, peace and blessings from the West Side. I'm out. Peace.